And welcome to yet another exciting edition of the program Ladies Night. My name is Ameze Obaisiagwan, your regular host on the program. Now today will be a special edition, quite different from what you usually get to watch. I don't have my usual ladies in the building. I'm going to be riding solo, but not too solo because I will be heading onto the streets to discuss what I have to talk about today. Now basically a lot of people over time have passed through issues that have to do with childbirth. Some people have difficulties actually taking in or actually carrying a pregnancy to the full term and of course giving birth eventually. Now over time we've got to see a lot of ideologies, a lot of ways, a lot of solutions to that particular problem. And one of these solutions is what we call surrogacy. Now surrogacy, a lot of people obviously know what it is, but for the benefit of those who don't, surrogacy is when a woman helps a couple to carry a pregnancy. Probably they get the sperm of a man and the egg of a woman and infuse it into the body of a surrogate, which is what they call the woman who would be doing the job. Now, when she carries that pregnancy for about 9 months and it's time for her to give birth, she does that and then the baby is taken from her and given to the rightful owners, obviously the parents. So today on the program, what we're looking at is surrogacy. What is your ideology of surrogacy? Do you think it's something you would like to do for someone, or it's something that you would want someone to do for you? If peradventure you are in that situation where you don't have the luxury of going through the normal birth process. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Like I said, I'm riding solo, but I will be heading onto the streets where I actually talk to some people about their opinions, their ideas, their thoughts about surrogacy. My name is Ameze Obaisiagwan. I'll be here watching as well while you do the same thing. So sit back, relax, and of course, enjoy.
Well, we saw Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar in the book of Genesis, where Hagar gave the slave girl, where Sarah gave the slave girl Hagar to Abraham, and then culminated in the birth of Ishmael, and then the child belonged to Sarah and Abraham and not Hagar. But the moment the child of promise, Isaac, came, there was problem in the house. Now both the woman and the child were sent packing. Scripturally, I think it's not right to carry surrogate babies when it involves intercourse, because that has to do with couples who are married. But using technology and fertilization, this can be done on compassionate social ground and never to be enterprise for money. So anything that has to do with babies, children, pregnancies, and births should never be enterprised. I think that is the bottom line. And of course, when this kind of thing is being done, there should be very strong legal instruments that is highly binding, and it should not be something secretive. It should be known so that people can begin to accept that. People who have no children, they have the right for adoption or to go other means of getting babies that are legitimate.
Personally, I don't support surrogacy because we know what surrogacy is. It's a process whereby a man's sperm and a woman's egg is placed in another woman, which is a surrogate mother, and she bears a child for them after some legal interaction, and then she returns the child to the parents. But many people, their impact on this surrogacy, we have social impact. At the end, there's a program I watched in which this scenario happened, and then they started dragging for the child. That's one impact. They will start having issues and so many quarrels, and also have impact on the mother as well, in which she has this emotional attachment for the child already, but then when the child is taken back, she will just have to try and manage herself back. And also during pregnancy, those pregnancy pains and the other. So for me, I feel the best way, if you can't bear a child, you just adopt. adopt, because so many persons, why do they do this process? Because of some medical issue they have, and also let's say some pregnancy complication. So the best option is just for you to adopt. Or there are so many children out there in the orphanage that needs parents to cater for them. So personally, I do not support surrogacy.
I didn't see anything too wrong about it, because couples that are childless, I think, have every right to have their children, legal right to get kids that can make them happy. If surrogacy will be an option for them to make the baby, it's fine. But in this part of the world, I think surrogacy and egg donation is becoming an enterprise for money, and which is not that okay. For me, those days when I get to know about surrogacy, it has to do with couples who want a baby. They can even travel to a different continent in collaboration with their doctor, to get a surrogate mother to have a baby. But why is nice, I encourage that type of surrogacy, is that so that someone will not rise up tomorrow to come and claim the child again, irrespective of the legal backing. Because I know in this part of the world we do hear some kind of rumors or stories about that. I would say yes to it, because if having surrogate mother to get a child is what will give your marriage peace, I think you can go ahead and do it.
It's quite absurd. It's preposterous. Why? Because I think it's an aberration to nature. Considering the impact of surrogacy on the child, the mother, and the parents at large, I would say it's not a thing of joy. Despite the positive part of it, I think the negative impact outweighs the positive impact. A child must be brought from this world. There should not be a compromise. I see surrogacy as a compromise to nature.
What
That's
if a
my
woman does not have the ability to carry a baby? Maybe her womb is damaged, or her eggs are still.
There are other better options. It's better to adopt than to go for surrogacy. I see it as an aberration to nature. It's an aberration to nature.
Really say surrogacy is bad. However, I do not subscribe to it. I believe there's a special bond formed between a mother and a child when that child is in your womb. And if someone else is going to carry your child for you, then it means that you're never going to experience that bond. And I believe that bond is natural and important for your relationship with that child in the long run. So I do not subscribe to it. However, I cannot particularly say that it is bad.
Well, I don't feel it's a big deal. Surrogacy is not really a big deal. It's just because around this part of the world, in Nigeria to be specific, we aren't really open to those kind of ideas. But with the emergence of new medicine, new technology, people are seeing more in the medical aspect, and they're understanding that, you know what, this is actually not even such a conversation in the first place, because it's pretty much normal.
All right, good evening, everybody. And as regards to what we're talking about this evening, surrogacy. Yes, a lot of people get to say surrogacy is bad, it's barbaric. But I tell you, both traditionally and religiously, surrogacy is not bad. Rather, I see surrogacy as a salvage, as a means of solving people's problem, especially when it has to do with challenges of childbearing. A lot of people find it difficult to bear children on their own because of some health issues and all that. But with surrogacy, a lot of people have been able to become mothers.
Hello everyone. Here is my take on the topic surrogacy. There's been lots of controversies on the topic, whether it is good, whether it is bad. Well, to me, I think surrogacy is not bad, as long as your partner is good, is cool with the whole idea, and once you're following legal procedures. So to me, it's not. At the end of the day, the child will still be yours. So if you see someone who is willing to help you, so why not? To me, surrogacy is not a bad idea.
For me, surrogacy is not a bad thing. It depends on people, their belief, their culture, their religion, and some of those other factors. But for me, surrogacy is not a bad thing.
Hello everyone. My take on this topic is quite simple and direct. I don't think surrogacy is something bad. As much as I don't encourage it, but I don't think it's bad. Yes, I'm not a fan of surrogates, but I also don't think it's bad. I'm going to explain. When it involves women with medical condition, people with medical condition, surrogacy is just means to an end. They want a child by all means, and they can't, probably because of health reasons, medical reasons. They can't, hence they seek other option, which could be surrogacy. Do you understand? And they have the money, so why not? But if there's no medical condition attached to it, there's no medical condition, it's just because you're a model, you don't want to spoil your shape. You know, pregnancy has a way of expanding the body. You don't want all that, hence you're looking for a surrogate. I don't encourage it. But if it's because of a medical condition, that's why you're searching for a surrogate, you can't birth your own child and you truly want a child, hence you're looking for a surrogate, I don't see a problem with it.
I think surrogacy is not bad as long as it is with the consent of the egg donor and the sperm donor. You know, if a woman has experienced problems in the past with pregnancy, or she does not or cannot for one reason or the other give birth to a child, surrogacy can be a good option to consider to welcome a baby safely and soundly. You know, like any other pregnancy, surrogate pregnancies involves the same medical risks of carrying a child and giving birth. So I do not see anything wrong in surrogacy.
To me, surrogacy is not a bad thing. Now, the person in question that has to carry the baby might be in need of financial help, and this is the only thing she can do to help out. Now it's an exchange that I'll carry your baby for you, and at birth I will hand over your baby to you and you will pay me for it. So no, surrogate is not a bad thing.
She really have a little or no attachment to that child, apart from the fact that she carried the child. Biologically, there is no really any resemblance or anything with the surrogate mother. She's like a container, because the person she's carried for probably can't produce an egg, probably has one or two medical conditions that won't warrant her carrying a pregnancy to term. So the egg is distributed into another woman, which happens to be the surrogate mother. She's like a container.
No, I cannot pay a surrogate mother. I believe surrogacy is kind of man-made, and anything man-made is artificial and wouldn't last, so I cannot pay a surrogate mother. I also believe that there would always be a connection between that surrogate mother and the child that she pushed out of her womb, so I cannot pay a surrogate mother. I pray by God's grace that I would never have to be in a position where I have to think about such things or make such decisions, but I can pay a surrogate mother.
NO in capital letter, yeah, in caps lock, it's a no for me. I can never pay someone to be a surrogate for me. The prayer of every reasonable woman is to go through that natural process, that due process. You carry your child for 9 months, and Yes, when it's due, you push. You know, it's really wonderful experience that everybody would want to experience. Like sometimes, someday, I get to hear myself say, "Ah, God." So one day I'll just take in and I'll carry that child for 9 months, and one day I will just see myself in a labor room pushing. It's something I would want to experience, and it has always been my prayer.
Well, I can, but one has to consider a lot of things. You have to consider the emotional factor that 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 comes into play after the surrogate mother gives birth to the child. One has to consider the risk, because surrogacy is like every other pregnancy. Just because you have a surrogate doesn't mean the surrogate will go through the stress, the challenges, won't face the challenges a normal person would face while carrying a child. So you have to put all that too into consideration. The legal aspect of it, the agreements, it must be legalized and all that. Putting all this into consideration, well, I if my partner is willing, I can pay someone to be a surrogate for me.
Thinking deeply about it, like, no, to be sincere, I can't pay someone to be a surrogate mother for me because I know I can't pay someone to be a surrogate mother for me. I know there are agencies and people who really do this professional, like it's their day-to-day work, and their agencies on their under like. But for me personally, thinking deep about it, I can't pay someone to be a surrogate mother for me. I prefer to adopt a child than pay someone.
For me personally, I don't think I can. I don't think I can because that jealousy will be in me, knowing fully well that I don't share 100% bond with my child. I answered this question also with a story I heard years back, very brief. This lady lived a promiscuous life and it damaged her womb. She was involved in lots of abortion that damaged her womb. She eventually got married to a rich man who loved her for who she was. But they were having difficulties in bearing their own children. They involved in surrogacy. Of course, the man had the money to put through the surrogacy period, the whole surrogacy things. They got someone paid and the person birthed them a child. And everything was moving smooth until the man started having issues in his place of work. Lots of things were happening around him. And being a traditionalist, he went to check. And they told him that, oh, if your child and the mom can come, we bring water. The child in presence of the mom will wash your head. Everything will be okay. The child will just wash your head and pray for you. I'm almost true. Everything will be fine. He went home, told his wife, and the wife said, of course, carry the child to the place and brought the water and said, okay, wash your father's head and pray for him. The mom will be saying amen. The child carried the water to wash his father's head while praying that day everything will be fine. And the man screamed. He said, why would you give my child hot water to use to wash my head? Why would you want to burn me? The man said, no, this is not hot water, this is cold water. The wife checked. He said, it's cold water. He said, oh, is it not the mother? Are you not the father? I said, no, it's our child. I'm the mother and I'm the father and this is my wife, the mother. After lots of questioning, they thought back and like, could it be the surrogacy? The man said, the woman who pushed this child with blood and sweat is the real mother. Now, I'm not a traditionalist, but I also believe there is this special bond that is between mother and child. Trust me, I believe it. Personally, I don't think I would want to be involved in surrogacy because that jealousy that someone else is the one who truly birthed this child would always be in my mind. I'd rather adopt a child. My own view, I'd rather adopt a child. I don't think I can get someone to carry my child.
I do not see anything wrong in paying someone to be a surrogate mother for me, as long as it is with legal binding and it is with the consent of the egg donor and the sperm donor. Because if it is illegal, the biological egg donor could come at any point in time to lay claims to the child. And this could cause an emotional trauma for the child here. So, yes, I can pay someone to be a surrogate mother for me.
Notwithstanding the disadvantage of it, the part that yes, the person might come after my baby, even after a contract has been signed. Yes, I can pay someone to surrogate for me. Yes, I can pay someone to surrogate for me. I know that it's hard, it's tough, but I think it's better than yes, you know this person. You might not really know the person, but you know that your husband will be the father of the baby. Yes, you can pay someone to surrogate. It's very hard, but I can do that.
In desperate conditions, one can actually say, I'm going to do it, let's do it, I'm ready, let's just go ahead and do it. But at the long run, you discover that you are not actually comfortable with it. Surrogacy, the woman needs attention. This woman is carrying a child, and that of your husband. Is the two of you actually involved in this. Now she needs attention, she needs care. Forget about the money aspect. Emotionally, she needs attention. Emotionally, she needs care.
I cannot be a surrogate mother. I cannot carry another woman's child in my womb. And I just can't. I can't be a surrogate mother.
Me personally, I don't mind being a surrogate mom. I could do it for my friend, my family member, a random person, but you have to pay me big bucks. I can't lie, big bucks. So yeah, me personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. And I'm happy that more people are being open-minded about this, because birth issues really affect a lot of Black women in Nigeria. The mortality rate for pregnant women increases over the year, but I'm happy that these conversations are happening, like I said before. So I like to see where it's going to.
Being a surrogate mother is a no-no for me. Yeah. Reasons being that I'm very emotional when it comes to children. So I don't think it's really going to be easy for me to say, okay, I'm going to be a surrogate mother, help you to give birth to all your children, and at the end of the day, just pay deaf ear and blind eyes to it like they are not for me, or I never did something like that. It's not really going to be easy, because yes, people say that whatever have advantage also have disadvantage. So for me, I think at first I might be thinking that, okay, I want to be of help, I want to salvage the situation, I want to assist based on the fact that you are having challenges, or you don't want to give birth on your own or anything. I might just be considering the circumstances beyond your management or whatever you're facing at that particular time, and say, okay, let me do it for you. But as an individual, like I said, that is very emotional. Will I be able to deal with it? Will I be able to forget the fact that I did something like that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't see any reason why I would want to be a surrogate mother. No, not ever.
That's a very tricky question. But personally, for me, I think it depends on who the person is to me. I can't just be a surrogate mother for anybody. It has to be someone related to me, or someone close to me, or someone just close to me that I can. It's because it's a form of sacrifice for me.
Of course, for my sister, yes. If for medical reasons, I'll always say medical reasons, my sister cannot birth her own child, God forbid, and they need a surrogate, and I'm free and available and I can, why not? Why not? Of course. The only reason I would not partake in surrogacy is when it does not involve medical reasons, when it involves just money. To go and become surrogate because I want to be paid, because I need money, I will never do that. I would never be involved in that. But for medical reasons and for someone dear to me, like my only sister, I would be a surrogate.
Okay, I would say that this decision can be tough and it requires a lot of thinking, and it's a big one to make. It's a big decision to make because it requires a lot of responsibility, like a huge responsibility on the part of the surrogate mother. But yes, I can be a surrogate mother. I think surrogacy is a rewarding gift. I am able to be of help to another family in the way I can.
Yeah, very funny but interesting question. I can't. Yes, I know I said it's not a bad thing, but I cannot have a baby carry in my womb for 9 months and to give it out. The feelings and everything, the baby I carried for 9 months. No, I cannot be a surrogate mother. If I carry a baby, I'll take care of the baby.
No, I can't be a surrogate mother. Reasons because surrogacy is pregnancy. It comes with 3 trimesters that involves nausea, vomiting, excess eating, putting on a lot of weight, baby kicking, and the grandmaster pushing. You have to go into the labor ward and you're going to give birth. So surrogacy is not a thing I can actually involve myself in.
Okay, so it's been exciting having you join me on the program Ladies Night today. I hope you enjoyed the special package I brought your way talking about surrogacy. A lot of people have different opinions. Some people would want to do it for someone, especially if they are being paid for it, like one of our guests actually said on the program. Now, whatever works for you is what I keep saying on the show. Whatever works for you, go through with that. What works for me may not work for you. So choose what works for you and, of course, have a wonderful life. My name is Ameze Obai Siagman. I will be here again, same time, same station for the program Ladies Night.